Chapter 1. The D.A.M.N. Fundamentals. Let's begin with some introductions. We have 3 key friends, or fundamentals, that make it possible to destroy a man now, D.A.M.N. To D.A.M.N. well, it's important to know them well. Our first ally is allegation. Allegation can be so simple, effective, and easy to employ that it's elegant. An allegation is a claim, usually without proof that someone has done something illegal or wrong. A claim, at minimum, requires nothing more than an assertion. For example, if I yell from a rooftop that the world is flat, I have successfully made a claim. Similarly, identifying wrongdoing requires only observation, recollection, or a minimal amount of imagination. From lying to murder, any behavior that you've heard of, seen, experienced, or can think of that violates an ethical or a legal standard can suffice for an allegation. However, it's the last part of what constitutes an allegation that makes it uniquely useful. No evidence is required. This independence from proof allows you to make an allegation about any man doing anything without being encumbered by a need for facts. But how can something as intangible as the spoken word, without evidence, have enough merit or power to damn? Admittedly, if left completely on her own, an allegation has relatively little power. That's where our other 2 friends, Mary Media and Arthur Authority, assist. Mary Media, our second ally, encompasses just about any means of communication. Media can be as elementary as whispers of gossip, although nowadays the term most often refers to mass communication. Platforms such as television, the internet, or mainstream media networks. Of course, it also includes social media, such as Twitter and Facebook, which you will soon see are especially well suited to D.A.M.N. So how does Mary Media help an allegation? Well, interestingly, they help each other. You've probably heard the philosophical question, if a tree falls in the woods, and no one hears it, did it make a sound? Although the answer to that question is still debated, it's certain that if an allegation is made and no one knows about it, it has no power. Fortunately, however, the opposite is also true. The more people who know about an allegation, the more powerful it becomes. Thankfully for an allegation and for our purposes, the modern mainstream media excel at spreading information far and wide. They do it to make money, lots of money from advertisers. Yet advertisers need more than just a way to reach people, they also need a way to get people to pay attention to their advertisements, and ultimately buy products. This is where media content comes in. Media content can be videos, website posts, breaking news, and so on. Anything that garners interest. And it's no secret that scandal attracts people's interest especially well. Sex sells, as the saying goes, and so does violence, injustice, misconduct, and anything else outrageous. That's why scandalous content in mainstream media has increased over the years. That's also why Mary Media helps an allegation. Scandalous allegations attract people's interest. Interested people watch advertisements. Advertisements sell products, and it all makes Mary Media money. However, fascinatingly, while the mainstream media profit from proliferating allegations, they bear little responsibility for doing it. Apparently, as long as the media mention that the scandal is an allegation, they are relatively safe from legal repercussions. This is because, in free speech societies, people can voice opinions and unsubstantiated claims. Further, the media can always attest that they are not making the allegation, rather, they are just reporting it. But, in truth, the media actually do help make the allegation by how they report it. You probably know that how you say something can convey greater meaning than what you say. For example, I could say, I'm happy, but if I'll scream it angrily, people are much more likely to believe I'm upset. With that in mind, try listening carefully to how mainstream media say the word allegation when reporting a story. Either they say it in a positive tone, as though it's something good, or they say it quickly, as though it's insignificant. They also use the word allegation, or alleged, instead of using terms such as unsubstantiated claim, or accusation without proof to de-emphasize that evidence is lacking. Even more cleverly, after the Media make an allegation popular by broadcasting it far and wide, they then circle back later and broadcast how so many people are talking about it. Further, they support people who make allegations by promoting them as courageous for coming forward. These tactics get even more people interested and encourage others to make similar claims. Finally, the media then cite the increasing number of allegations and growing public outrage that they help create as being too numerous to be ignored, or as evidence of truth. In a court of law, a man is considered innocent until proven guilty, but in the court of media-managed public opinion, a man, serially accused of a scandal, is guilty until proven innocent. In this way, an allegation does not require evidence to damn because, through media manipulation, it becomes its own evidence. Thousands, even millions of people can become organized against one man. Likewise, the evidence and public perception of guilt created by Allison allegation and Mary media's synergy can become so prominent and powerful that our third ally, Arthur Authority, has a duty to step in. And it's authority that really helps us put the destroy in D.A.M.N. Authority is defined as any person or organization that has the power to control, direct, punish, and so on, which is exactly the kind of power we need to D.A.M.N. Examples include police, judges, bosses, human resource departments, boards of directors, teachers, professors, university councils, licensing and regulatory agencies, and so on. Ultimately, it's authority that plays the final role in condemning a man. So what do we need to know about authority to D.A.M.N.? Well, to begin, it's important to understand that Arthur Authority is an artifact of patriarchy and chivalry. As Daddy Knight, he takes pride in his role as guardian and savior, especially of the weak, mistreated, violated, and so on. He strives to be the hero who saves the damsel in distress. In other words, authority caters to victims, and nothing gets Arthur Authority's attention more than a call to action to save victims. To be considered a victim, or a damsel in distress, authority first needs to perceive you as weak. Surprisingly, a great illustration of this is how authorities usually relate to men in distress. Can you imagine what typically happens when a man walks into a police precinct and requests a restraining order against a woman? Officers roll their eyes, and immediate disbelief ensues. This is because they simply do not perceive a man to be weaker than a woman, and for that reason, they are unwilling to provide assistance. In contrast, in patriarchal societies, women are perceived as weak by default, and therefore deserving of help and protection in the eyes of authorities. Second, for the weak to attain victim status, authorities also need to perceive them as harmed or violated. In other words, authorities require a credible claim that a legal or an ethical standard has been broken in order to take action, because it's the duty to enforce standards. As we now know, we can look to Allison allegation to make the claim and to Mary media to make it credible. Nevertheless, it's still important to emphasize that authority is most likely to help us D.A.M.N. in instances that entail an apparent violation of specific laws or codes of conduct. The more egregious, the better. Examples are numerous, including rape, sexual harassment, discrimination, physical assault, child abuse, substance abuse, and dishonesty in its many forms, e.g., lying, cheating, fraud, etc. Closing parenthesis. Also, and this works surprisingly well, keep in mind that with the media's help, allegations against authorities can be used to motivate authority to take action. Just about any widespread allegation about an authority being remiss, ineffectual, or negligent in its guardian and savior role will suffice. For instance, a televised allegation about a company ignoring sexual harassment in the workplace is enough to motivate the company's human resources department to hunt the accused man and anyone who failed to report his scandalous behavior to HR. Once authorities decree that there is a victim of a violation, they can take punitive actions against the perpetrator, i.e., destroy a man. Punitive actions usually entail substantial loss, such as termination of employment, loss of income, loss of education or certification, e.g., dismissal from school or revocation of credentials, loss of social status or good reputation. e.g., public shame and humiliation, loss of financial savings, e.g., payment for legal settlements, and loss of freedom, e.g., imprisonment. In addition, the combined actions of Allison allegation, Mary media, and Arthur authority generally result in ongoing loss or the loss of future opportunities. In this way, a man is truly damned. With a smeared reputation, a record of alleged misconduct, no one will want to be associated with him, no one will want to employ him, no one will want to help him, and no one will even believe him. Further, the subsequent long-term stress frequently results in loss of physical and mental health. When I say these methods can destroy a man, I genuinely mean it. Moreover, these methods actually do destroy men, even powerful ones. There is no better testimony to how effective Allison allegation, Mary media, and Arthur authority can be than the growing number of men they've destroyed regardless of allegations being true or false. The following is just a partial list from 1 year 201-7 of renowned men in no particular order, the allegations made against them in the media, in the authority-driven consequences. 8. Harvey Weinstein, Hollywood producer and co-founder of the Weinstein Company, accused of rape, sexual assault, sexual harassment, and sex trafficking, fired from the Weinstein Company and expelled from the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences. Roy Price, Amazon executive, accused of sexual harassment, resigned days after being suspended. Chris Savigno, Nickelodeon producer, accused of harassing women, fired. Lockhart Steele, editorial director of Vox Media, accused of sexual harassment, fired. John Besh, celebrity chef and chief executive of Besh Restaurant Group, accused of sexual harassment, stepped down from the Besh Restaurant Group. Terry Richardson, fashion photographer, accused of sexual misconduct, banned from working with Vogue and other Condé Nast publications. Leon Wieseltier, New Republic editor, accused of sexual harassment, removed from the masthead of The Atlantic and fired from Emerson Collective. Knight Landesman, art forum publisher, accused of sexual harassment, resigned from the magazine. Mark Halperin, MSNBC political analyst and co-author of Game Change, accused of harassment while at ABC News, dismissed from MSNBC and NBC News, book contract terminated, and upcoming books HBO adaptation cancelled. Ken Baker, news correspondent, accused of sexual harassment, removed from TV while NBC investigates. Kevin Spacey, actor, accused of sexual misconduct and assault, fired from Netflix series, and replaced in upcoming film. Jeremy Piven, actor, accused of sexual misconduct, CBS dropped his show. Hamilton Fish, New Republic president and publisher, accused of sexual harassment, resigned from the magazine. Michael Orsks, NPR chief editor, accused of sexual harassment while at the New York Times, NPR, and the Associated Press, resigned. Andy Dick, comedian, accused of sexual harassment, fired from film. Jeff Hoover, Kentucky House Speaker, accused of sexual harassment, stepped down from position. David Gillard, co-CEO of Primary Wave Entertainment, accused of drugging women, sexual assault, and rape, taking a leave of absence. Ed Westick, actor, accused of sexual assault, the BBC cancelled his show. Jeffrey Tambor, actor, accused of sexual misconduct, not returning to his Amazon series, Transparent. Matthew Weiner, Mad Men creator, accused of sexual harassment, cancelled appearances. Roy Moore, Alabama judge and politician, accused of sexual misconduct and sexually assaulting teenagers decades ago, lost financing from the Republican National Committee, and lost U.S. Senate election. Louis C.K., comedian, accused of sexual misconduct, release of new film halted, Netflix special cancelled, and FX and HBO cut ties. Andrew Kreisberg, executive producer of Arrow, Supergirl, and The Flash, accused of sexual harassment and inappropriate touching, suspended by Warner Brothers Television Group. Eddie Berganza, editor of DC Comics, accused of sexual harassment, fired by Warner Brothers Television Group and DC Entertainment. Gary Goddard, CEO of the Goddard Group, accused of sexual assault of minors. Took leave from his company. Al Franken, U.S. Senator, accused of sexual misconduct, resigned and cut from a PBS TV special. John Conyers, U.S. Senator, accused of harassment, resigned. Glenn Thrush, New York Times White House reporter, accused of making drunken, unwanted advances on multiple women, suspended from the New York Times. Charlie Rose, PBS and CBS Television Net work host, accused of making unwanted sexual advances, groping women, exposing himself, and making lewd phone calls. Fired from CBS and PBS, cut ties. John Lasseter, Pixar and Disney Animation chief, accused by several women of unwanted touching, taking a leave of absence. Matt Lauer, NBC Today show host, accused of inappropriate sexual behavior in the workplace. NBC News terminated his employment. Garrison Keillor, author and the creator and former host of A Prairie Home Companion, accused of inappropriate behavior with a woman who worked with him. Minnesota Public Radio is terminating his contracts. Russell Simmons, entrepreneur and co-founder of Def Jam Recordings, accused of rape and harassment, stepping down from his companies. Warren Moon, NFL Hall of Fame quarterback and the co-founder and president of Sports One Marketing, accused of sexual misconduct and discrimination, taking a leave of absence from his job as a member of the Seattle Seahawks game day broadcasting team. Mario Batali, TV star and chef, accused of sexual harassment, stepping down from his company, Batali and Bastianich Hospitality Group, and his daytime TV job on The Chew. Ryan Lizzer, correspondent for The New Yorker, accused of sexual misconduct, fired from The New Yorker. Alex Kozinski, California Federal Court judge, accused of sexual harassment, abruptly retired. Jerry Richardson, owner of the Carolina Panthers, accused of sexual harassment, selling the team he founded. Blake Farenthold, politician, accused of sexual harassment and gender discrimination, withdrew from re-election and retired from Congress. Teus Smiley, talk show host, accused of sexual misconduct. PBS suspended his show. Carl Sargent, cabinet secretary for Communities and Children in the Welsh government, accused of sexual misconduct, suspended from his job and committed suicide.